we've been talking the last few episodes, and you might be like, wait a second, how does this all work in together? We've been talking these last few episodes about receiving, about being in receiving mode, about faith, love, and sex, right? How good are you willing to let life get? How good are you willing to get at receiving and receiving on a massive scale, the way that you can in real estate? There is nothing else on the planet that allows you to receive in such a massive quantity and massive scale as real estate investing. Hello, everybody, and welcome to You Know How This Ends, the podcast that is here to remind you that you don't have to hustle or grind your way to success. You just have to keep going. Just don't give up. You know how this ends. Never give up on your dreams. Keep receiving them, keep enjoying the moment, keep taking those next steps forward, and keep trusting every step of the process. And today I'm so excited to share with you 7 common misconceptions. We're going to do a myth buster, 7 misconceptions and misunderstandings that I receive all the time about real estate investing. And I just received 2 of them today. And I was like, okay, we need to do a whole podcast about this because I feel like I share this and teach this, and then people are still like, what? I thought this or I thought that. And I'm like, oh my goodness. So 7 myths about real estate investing. Myth number 1, you need a ton of money to get started. This was literally me a little over a year ago. I was like, yeah, I definitely want to invest in real estate once I have, and I literally was like, I'm creating my empire, which is so fun because now my business is called Creating Her Empire, right? And I'd be like, I'm creating my empire. And in my empire, once everything is established and we have all this coaching stuff and we're doing these retreats and we have a clothing line, we have all these things, then I'm going to take all that piles of money that I have and I'm going to go and invest in real estate. And when my awareness started being drawn to real estate, and I was like, no, I don't have money to invest in real estate. So I totally get this, this idea, because it's literally what I thought too, right? God told me so clearly, what if real estate isn't the piece that you do after the empire is created and you have all the money? What if it is the thing that creates the empire and brings the money? And I was like, oh, I see. What did the blind man say when he opened his eyes? I see. Throw back to my high school chemistry physics teacher, Brother Shell. But that's the thing, is that you actually don't need a bunch of money to start investing in real estate. There are so many tools and options and ways to find the money. And what you actually do is you use other people's money. There are billions and billions of dollars in the United States sitting in people's retirements account. And you know that you can use retirement accounts to invest in real estate. So you put the deal together, you invite people who have retirements account. We actually put you in a whole special group called the Investor Secret Network that's part of our real estate education that puts you into contact with these people who are like, have money, will invest in real estate, right? Like that's what they want. So someone the other day was just talking about this and they're like, well, because I said, like, you don't have to use your own money to invest in real estate. And she's like, yeah, but I don't want to go knocking on my neighbors and friends and family's doors and ask them to invest in their real estate deals with me. And I was like, yeah, neither do I. But that's why we have this whole community of people who want to invest in real estate because they can get way better returns than they can in the stock market. And we can help them. And it's a win-win situation. At the time of this recording, we'll be closing tomorrow on a deal, a fix and flip, where we will make between 30 and 60 grand in the next 3 to 6 months. We are not using a penny, a single penny of our own money to do that. We're doing it all using other people's money, equity partners, people who were so excited to get a 20% return on their money in 3 to 6 months, and thrilled, absolutely thrilled to be doing this still, this opportunity. We didn't go and beg, we didn't go and knock on people's doors. We used our community, we found the money. And even to learn how, because you have to get educated. And we're going to talk about that here later on. You have to get educated. That's why real estate is risky, is because people don't know what they're doing. We want you to get educated, to know what you're doing and to feel confident in that. And so we even teach you a technique called velocity banking. If you have not listened to our velocity banking training, let's see, which one was it? Episode 21 with Mitch Nelson. We spent a whole almost an hour talking about the concept with strategy called velocity banking that allows you to Find the money using the equity in your home, using credit cards, using all these different resources that you already have at your disposal to be able to fund your education, to learn how to start investing in real estate. And in the process, literally save hundreds of thousands of dollars in amortized interest payments. I'm not going to go into huge detail about that here because I want you to go back and listen to the full episode, episode 21 with Mitch Nelson. Go find it and listen to it if you haven't already. But that's myth number one, or misconception number one, is I don't have the money to get started. Guess what? We didn't either. Money is the easiest piece to figure out how to find out to money is the easiest piece to bring into play once you have the tools and resources, and you do not need a pile of money sitting around to start investing in real estate. You can start without any of that. So don't let that stop you. Come and ask me. Let's help you figure out how. Myth number two, you need a high credit score to invest. Again, you do not. We currently do not have high credit scores right now. We're like in the 600s at the time of this recording. We do not have a high credit score. We have two properties, or we will as of tomorrow. We'll have our first two properties. Because we're not going through the bank, you don't need a credit score. The property, the real estate is the collateral. That's what the investors, that's what the equity partners, that's what the private money lenders are looking at. They don't care about your credit score. They care about the deal, the property, and if the numbers work. So if you don't have a good credit score and you're letting that be your excuse for why you can't invest in real estate, let that one just fly on out the window. You do not need a good credit score to invest in real estate. Myth number three, oh, the market isn't good for it right now. The prices are too high. I had this. I was inviting someone to a training a while back, and she was like, oh, I've always wanted to invest in real estate. I just wish the market were better for it. And I replied back, the market is fine. The market's going to go up and down and come and go and all the different things. And again, it goes back to being educated, because if you're educated, if you have the tools and the resources and the strategies, you can succeed at real estate investing no matter what the market is doing. If it's doing one thing, then you do this strategy. If it's doing another thing, then you use this other strategy. You simply have to have the education to know how to work with whatever the market is experiencing right now, because it's going to go up, it's going to go down, it's going to go in and out and all the things. Get some education, learn how to actually use what is happening for your benefit. And that is what we're doing right now. Myth number four, it's too risky. I know so and so who lost this or went bankrupt or had this. Yeah, I do too. I know them too. And this was when I first started investing. I was telling a mastermind group of women, I was so excited to start investing in all these things. And I was like, we all need to be doing it. We can all make a bunch of money together. We all these things are. And one of the ladies said, I have no desire to invest in real estate. We tried that a while back. We lost our shirts and we're still paying for what happened there. So it is risky, right? Which is why you have to get educated. You have to know what you're doing. I've been shocked as I have jumped into the world of real estate investing. I've been shocked to find out how many other people are also investing without any education, without any training. They just bought a property and started doing it. And you can do that up to a point and get away with it. But did you know that you can only have 10 properties if you're doing it the old-fashioned way or the regular way through banks and Fannie Mae, Freddie Mac? You can only have 10 mortgages in your name. So say you do 10 flips and you make, on average, our community, the students in our community on the low end probably don't make less than say 30 grand on a flip. And the highest I've seen anyone make is I believe 115 grand on a flip. So we're gonna go like halfway through there would be like, 80. We're gonna go super conservative. We're gonna say 50. Say you make $50,000 on doing 10 flips and you have 500 grand. Like that's great. That's a nice chunk of change. But that's not, if you're my age in your mid 40s and you're gonna live another 50 years, like that's not gonna last you for 50 years. Like when I think of retiring, it's not trying to spread $500,000 out on, that's what, like $1,000 a month. Like, no, it's not gonna do it for me. It's not gonna do it for you. Even if you go and you do rentals with that, say you have 10 properties and you rent them all out and you're bringing in $500 a month for rent. Okay, that's $5,000 a month, which is, again, that's decent, but that's not affluent living. That's not how I want to retire. That's not what I want to be limited to, right? I want all the things. I want a huge, amazing, full life. I want to give and I want to share and I want to travel and I want to teach and all these things, right? And $5,000 a month is not going to cut it. So we want to use not traditional lending, use private money, use oh man, I just lost my train of thought. We're talking about it's too risky. We can use all these other equity partners. We're gonna do all these other things, but we're not going to. We will sometimes for a specific reasons. We'll use traditional lending, but primarily we're going to use non-traditional private funds that we create and receive through the people that we're making these connections with. Again, all this goes back. Are you sensing a common thing? You have to get educated. You don't want to just jump in and try and figure it out. That is what makes it risky. You want to get educated and have a team of people that help you with that. Our deal that we're closing on tomorrow, I analyze it specifically with Mitch Nelson, who did our velocity banking training that you're going to go back and watch if you haven't yet. I sat down with him and I ran the numbers with him and we verified all the things and he helps me through the process, right? This is what we do for our clients, our students. In our education, we walk them through the process. You're not alone. How amazing. Like I'm looking to see if I have it here. It's in the other room. I read Rich Dad, Poor Dad, gosh, probably early 20s. And I was like, 20 years ago. And I was like, well, that's great. Like, I see the idea. And it even has like, do this. And like, you have to have this and you have to have this portfolio. You have to buy real estate. And I was like, okay, but how? I'm not going to go and just kind of jump in and try and figure out how to do that. I didn't have anybody in my life that had already done that, but I feel like I could go and ask questions to figure it out. I'm not just going to go jump into these hundreds of thousands of $1 million investments without knowing what I'm doing. And that's what we do is we educate you and we support you in the process. And that negates the risk because you're educated and we are very conservative in our numbers and in our projections, like example I just gave you, right? Make sure that that it's going to be a good deal for you. Okay, myth number 5. I don't want to be a landlord. Great. Neither do I. We teach in our education, we want you to let people do what they're good at so you can do what you're good at. And guess what? Your strength as an investor is not in going and unplugging Legos from toilets at 7 o'clock in the morning or 11 o'clock at night, right? It's not going and fixing garage door openers and plumbing and washing machines and all the things. Your strength as an investor is going out and finding another deal. That's how you're going to make your money. So we pay property management companies to manage our properties. Our first property that we did, it's a rental, and we get a rent check every month in the mail. We don't go by, we don't check in, we don't do any of the things. Our property management company takes care of all of that. We pay them a percentage. We're more than happy to pay them a percentage for them to do what they're good at. So we can do what we're good at of going and finding another, not spending our time being a landlord. Which brings us to myth number 6. I'm not handy. I don't know how to like do the flips and do all the remodeling and all this stuff. Guess what? Once again, neither am I. And I'm not going to do it because just like being a landlord, that is not where you're going to make your money. You're not going to make your money by moving in. And that's one of the process. That's one of the things that people see and do, right? It's like, we're going to move into we're going to buy this property. We're going to move in, we're going to flip it. And just as it starts getting pretty and beautiful, we're going to move. No, you've just given yourself another part-time job. Like, we're trying to get out of the rat race, out of the jobs and the hourly and the daily and everything, right? And move into massive and passive income. Massive income by huge chunks of change through doing the flips, and passive income by mailbox money, rental money each month. We hire people to do what they're good at so we can go do what we're good at. We hire contractors. We hire all the people who need to do the things that is their job. That's what they do. We pay them gratefully to do that. And this is like getting out of the scarcity mindset as well, right? It's like, oh, but I could make, an extra 20 grand if I did this myself. Well, okay. Or you can make 60 grand by going out and finding another flip. If you're trying to do all the flips yourself, you're limited to just what you can handle, how many hours you have in a day, right? You can't do it all. Let other people do what they're good at. You do what you're good at. Spread the wealth, spread the love. There's so much. There's so much. We are so abundant. There are millions of properties out there. Go find the next one. Pay a contractor, pay a landlord, pay an agent to do their job so you can go and find your next deal and have the free time, the freedom that you're desiring. And my last myth is, I don't know how. I don't know how to do it. I can't even tell you every single person that I talk to that I tell them that we're real estate investing, they're like, oh, I've always wanted to that, but I don't know how, right? It's either the money most of the time, that first one of I don't have the money, or the last one, I don't know how. What do you think I'm going to tell you in response to I don't know how? Education. Learn how. You do lots of things today that you didn't know how to do, starting with walking, right? Tying your shoes, maybe cooking a specific meal. Like I think of when I'm doing a new recipe and I'm literally like stepping every step right and it takes forever. And then once I've done it enough, it's like, oh yeah, I have to just glance at the recipe. I know exactly what I'm doing, all the different things, right? But it's awkward at first because you don't know how. So that's why you get education. And that's why we do the first flip challenge, because that helps you with the how. It gives you a timeline, it gives you a structure, it gives you the exact steps to get into literally your first property in 90 days. The 90-day first flip challenge. So, what did you notice is the common thing running through all these 7 common misconceptions about real estate investing? Education, 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 education. Use the tools, use the resources. If you've been following my podcast, you know that it's taking, being willing to trust, being willing to do something that you don't know how it's all going to work out, and not sure where it's going to lead. This was me when I first jumped into real estate investing. I was like, and it's so funny because I literally was like, well, I want to be the equity partners and I want to use the velocity banking strategy to pay down debt faster, but I don't really want to do the whole real estate investing. That was like still kind of something that was going to happen later for me, right? But then as I got going into this and I realized, oh, this beautiful tool, this beautiful resource for our women, for men to be able to really truly create wealth, to be able to have the freedom. Freedom to me is one of my core values. I need to feel free. I need to feel freedom. And what better way to have freedom than to do, five, six, seven, eight, 10 properties a year where you're receiving an average of $50,000 on each one, or a rent check of several $100s, and have that coming in. Because the thing is, when you have a rental, that tenant works all month long to pay you. You get paid first because they need a place to sleep. They need a place to live. They need a safe place for their family. You're providing that beautiful resource for you. And in exchange, they're paying you for it. You get paid for loving and helping and serving people, for creating beautiful properties. And by taking that, if you're not in, some of you will be listening to this and you're already investing, you're like, yeah, girl, preach, preach, preach. And some of you are going to listen to this and you're going to be like, oh, my gosh, I don't know if you're gonna still be like, I don't know how, I don't have the money. Please let me help you figure that out. Money is the easiest piece in the world to figure out, and we know the how. So come and talk to me, send me a DM. Let's chat. Let's help you figure this out. I'm so, so grateful that I took the leap and did that scary next step without understanding how it was all going to work all the time, right? Into real estate investing. It has changed my life. It's going to continue to change my life, and it is changing our family for generations, hundreds and hundreds of years and people to come. My oldest son will be home from his mission in just a couple short months, and he's going to jump into the first flip challenge as well and learn how to become a real estate investor and start making massive and passive income as a 21-year-old. Don't you wish you had done that? Best time to invest in real estate was 20 years ago, right? When prices were different, when prices were lower, all the different things. The second best time to invest in real estate is today, because it's going to continue to go up. And your future self will thank you for beginning to invest in real estate now. And this is the piece that I love guiding my clients through, is realizing, like, in order, we've been talking the last few episodes, and you might be like, wait a second, how does this all work in together? We've been talking these last few episodes about receiving, about being in receiving mode, about faith, love, and sex, right? How good are you willing to let life get? How good are you willing to get at receiving, and receiving on a massive scale, the way that you can in real estate? There is nothing else on the planet that allows you to receive in such a massive quantity and massive scale as real estate investing. So I hope that this has helped to kind of dispel some of those worries and fears and concerns and set your mind at ease. And even if it's just planted a little seed or ignited a spark, and maybe it's like, all right, this is the thing. Like, this answered all my questions. Let's jump in. How do I do this? Send me a DM, comment, email me, find me, get a hold of me. Facebook, Denisha Christensen, DANICIA. Come and find me and let's help you get started in creating this beautiful wealth and learning to receive on a greater level than you ever have before. Love you. I'm so excited to hear from you and to support you in your journey. And we'll talk to you soon. Bye.